Last night I went and got a second helping of They Will Kill You. I did like the movie, so I wanted to see it again, but I really wanted to see it in a better movie theater. This is a smaller movie, so it's not playing in the big premium formats, but they had a late showing in a prime theater. I felt like that movie would have been 10 times better if I had the right sound quality. And I'm happy to report that I was absolutely correct. This movie was amazing in the prime theater, and it was amazing in the normal theater too, but I couldn't help but notice the sound was kind of not allowing me to be fully immersed in the film. So I'll tell you now, this is one of my favorite movies of the year so far. I'm a big fan of Kill Bill, and it had so many similarities to that. Similarities almost kind of frustrated me because it felt such like a copycat that I didn't want to give it credit, but it's so unique and so different that I decided to give it points for giving me something that I really like and enjoy and doing its own thing with it. And I can really appreciate that as a film fan. This movie took a lot of inspiration from several films that I know. Kill Bill, with the cinematography, the sound, and the fight scenes. People Under the Stairs, there's a element where they're in this big mansion or house or high rise and they're trapped inside it, just like Fool was on People Under the Stairs. Our main character, Asia Reeves, she finds a friend who's trying to help her, and he shows her a route through the walls. Eventually they catch them and they kill him, just like Roach helped Fool. The main reason she's in the house is to save her little sister. Like eventually when Fool came back to the house, he was coming in to save Allison. I felt a lot of People Under the Stairs inspiration or similarities from this. And also obviously the movie that came out last week, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Very similar to that, with rich people got you trapped in a mansion trying to kill you. You got to fight your way out. Lots of gore, girl boss, and then the sister dynamic. But if you're trying to figure out what to watch between these two, They Will Kill You is light years better than Ready or Not, Here I Come. Now, there are very different takes on the same type of story. I can understand how one person could like one and not the other, but I just think the niche fans that will like They Will Kill You, they're going to go crazy over this movie, where I think it in the future it will be a classic once we stop picking it apart and trying to say it's copying off of this and that. This has very potential cult classic vibes connected to it. Ready or Not 2, that shit is here today and it will literally be gone tomorrow. We'll never think about it again. Also, this does the sister dynamic so much better. Ready or Not 2, the sister dynamic is kind of shoehorned in with no backstory. I mean, they kind of tell us the backstory in their conversations and them fighting amongst each other. And honestly, that shit just broke away from the action and it was very annoying in the movie. Whereas in this one, our movie opens up with the sister dynamic 10 years prior. A situation happens and it really set the tone for who our main character is. And we get to actually see the disconnect and why there's been a gap in time between the sisters seeing each other, and the fact that we just get to see it alone, it's killing the Ready or Not premise with the sister dynamic. So this is far and beyond better than Ready or Not 2. If you had to watch one, I would definitely suggest They Will Kill You. Some negatives I'll take from this movie. One was the sound, not just the sound being lower in the theater I watched it in previously, but they have great potential for some needle drop moments. And I just wasn't quite jiving with some of the music that they were playing. Now, watching it in Prime, even the songs that I didn't like, I didn't care because the noise and the sound was hitting on all cylinders in the Prime theater, and it just made the experience so much better. I gave my sound and music a 5 out of 10 in my score. If I would have watched it in Prime first, that would have went way up, because actually the sound effects are actually very good. But the music just quite wasn't hitting that first time. Another thing that I didn't like was, this is a 90-minute film and it's action packed from beginning to end. You barely got time to catch your breath, but I don't know what it is. For some reason, it feels long. So those would be the only two knocks I have with this movie. Some things I liked. First of all, Zazie Beetz. She's amazing in this movie. I've seen her as Domino in Deadpool, so I knew she's like familiar with acting, but her whole shtick in that movie was being lucky. So she wasn't really whooping ass in that movie. She's whooping ass in this movie. Like I said, I think this will be cult classic. The fight scenes are really good. And the thing I like about the fighting, the action in this movie is Zazie Beetz' character is a brawler. She's not a well-trained jujitsu warrior ninja. She's honed her craft from fighting for her life in prison. And all of her fights feel that way in this movie when she's in this mansion fighting these people. She is pretty good with the sword, but for the most part, all of her fighting is scrappy, fighting to survive, scratching and clawing with a vengeful heart. That's very unique in one of these action kind of movies where our main character, she's not the greatest trained fighter. She's just a brawler and she know how to whoop some ass. And I really like that touch on this. I feel like I got a lot from the trailer. I was kind of pissed that they told us in the trailer that she learned how to fight in prison. I'm like, damn, they give it away too much. But it's so many twists and turns in this movie that it kind of keeps you on your heels. And basically, whatever we saw in the trailer, that didn't affect my viewing experience at all. So one, we knew she was going to be in the house fighting all these people, but they turned it up a notch where I thought she was just coming in as a new worker and then they're trying to kill her and she's trying to fight her way out. Nope, she's in there on a revenge mission. Two, the people that she's fighting, they're immortal. So they keep coming back. So that adds another twist. So after she's whooping ass and she got the upper hand, these people come back and now she's right back to being the prey again. And this is about 30 minutes into the film. So it adds another layer of unpredictableness to this film. Then as it's becoming just a brawling Quentin Tarantino type of movie, it shifts. Now we're in this maze of a house and it's a big crawl sequence where she's crawling through these vents and being chased by these devil worshiping people. It just adds a new dynamic to the movie and everything is fresh and it feels different and it feels like something new, even though a lot of the stuff that's happening is familiar. The blood and gore is exceptional. You feel everything in this. Now, this is considered a horror movie. It's not scary though, but with the gore and the grotesqueness of what's going on with these fights and these battles, it's absolutely horrific. It's a horror movie and it does a good job of being in that vein. Not only is the sister dynamic better in this, once we get around to the fact of how Asia Reeves gets to this house and why her sister's allowed to be in this house and live, there's another twist where the sister is planning to join the devil cult and she's bringing a body in to sacrifice to earn her immortality. And I thought that was another good twist. So the entire movie kept me guessing or kept adding things to boost the story. So where I thought it was going, I was never right. And that makes for a great movie. And that's why I give it credit, even though a lot of the things that's happening in this movie are familiar beats. It's very much so its own thing. And it just made for a wonderful movie viewing experience. They did such a good job of giving us a full fleshed out story and giving us room for this to expand into sequels moving forward. I feel like this was a great origin story to tell us Asia's initial plan to become this kind of vengeful warrior, and now she has this immortality, and she can continue to battle these devil cults and the devil himself while they try to hunt her and her sister down, and she tries to remain free and rebellious. All in all, They Will Kill You is a fire movie. I give it an 8.2 out of 10. That was my initial score. I'm going to stay with that. And I'll give it two hands up. If you have not seen it, you need to go out and see it. And if it's playing in a premium theater, that's the best way to witness this. It was an amazing experience.